Hello and welcome to another week's edition of the Weekly Waller Review Show. Another smile on Chris's face, which means we had another good week last week with a very good winner in Allwood.
Allwood, yeah, a good win. Feel
Shit,
unlucky.
almost got it.
He did, yeah.
Anyway,
no, it was a good week.
good performance.
A few other unlucky runners, and those jockeys have been spoken to, and we all moved together as one.
Absolutely. We'll head straight into this weekend's racing, which is a very exciting lineup for us. We have Andaz coming up from Melbourne. He's trialled up here and by all accounts he's going great. He's 2 from 2. Can he make it 3 from 3?
I do think he can. He'll be up on the pace. He's drawn well, and as you said, 2 from 2. His whole preparation's been up here, and he's done quite a bit of pre-training and had the 2 good trials, so I think his fitness levels will be high enough to run well over 1300 first up. I think his first 2 wins came up over 1100, but don't read too much into that. I think he's a really talented horse.
And the well-publicised Frankel colt, Marovi.
He's come through that maiden win very well. It's going to be a bit short for him, but I just want to see him attacking the line strongly.
Nice lightweight.
Yeah, and if there's speed on up front, then of course it's going to give the back markers a chance. I think he'll be back, getting to the outside, finishing off strongly. So I think he's a really promising horse. His work since his first up win's been good, and Hugh Bowman was aboard the other morning, said he gave him the feel of a good horse, and fortunately Kira McAvoy hops aboard as they drop the weights. And it's a bit of a concern, these weights, because you have jockeys all booked up for races and then they change them. So they changed the ratings of this, they actually changed the rating of the race from a 70 to a 75 on Wednesday. So straight away we're scrambling for new jockeys. Fortunately in this instance we've got Kira McAvoy booked to ride.
And thank you to Mark Newnham.
Yeah, but so how do you tell an investor that he's got such and such riding for him or working for him, and then all of a sudden the conditions change so that you get another rider? In this instance it's fine because Kieran's ridden the horse in trials, but Hugh has done all the work over the past few weeks on him. He's worked hard to teach him, to educate him, and the horse and rider get familiar, and all of a sudden you change the conditions of the race. So I really don't know how it's legal to do it, but there seems to be a way at the moment, and we'll look into it further.
Okay, into race 2 we have My Giuliano, second up over the 2000 metre distance.
He's had a trial since his first up run, which was a pass mark. He appreciates this distance. He went missing last preparation. Hopefully he can improve this time, and I'd say he's still another runaway, but he's capable on his day.
Okay, and Multifacets. Can he build on his good third last start?
Much better run. As we can see, his race is better up on the pace and good tracks. He'll get both of those conditions on Saturday. He's drawn well. Good jockey aboard, Hugh Bowman.
And Glenn Schofield taking over on Vaucluse Bay, Area 8.
Yeah, not sure if he'll back up. He raced last Saturday without much luck. There's an 1800 metre race for him next week. He's won over that distance and at Rosehill, so wouldn't be surprised to see him scratch Saturday morning and wait 7 days. But he's working well. It was a better run last start, had no luck.
And the class record winner and Up and Rolling, stepping up to 2000 metres.
Yes, very impressive first up win, and recorded his first Australian win. It's a bit of a gamble second up 2000, but he's a very fit and athletic type of horse. They're the horses that obviously win first up over 1550, and they're the horses that can step up to 2000 metres. Kira McAvoy rides. He'll get the run of the race in gate 1. Very hard to beat, Charlie.
Okay, that's what we like to hear. Race 3, Jaminza. Well, he's won his last 2.
Yes.
Good barrier.
He's won his last 2 at Flemington. And drawn well. Should get a nice run. Good tough horse. He's doing a great job, obviously. Settled in well to Sydney, and expect him to run well. Looks a nice race for him.
Hugh Bowman to replace Stephen Baston.
Both walked the Kokoda track.
Yeah, exactly. They did indeed. Race 7, Who Shot the Barman in the Chelmsford?
Resumes for another preparation. Obviously ran close second in the Sydney Cup last start. Prior to spelling, he's come back well. He runs a good race fresh, but I think you'd appreciate a bit of give in the track to just help bring the speed out of the race a bit. So on a good track, yeah, that might struggle to eventuate, but let's see how he returns. His work and trials have been okay.
And we also have Libran in a very similar boat.
Yeah, Libran's well. Yeah, identical really, Charlie. He needs a lot further. He didn't like those wet tracks last prep. He'll get good tracks on Saturday. It's probably going to be a good 3. It was almost too quick there a couple of weeks ago, so hopefully they put a bit more water on it and we see a fairer track on Saturday. But he's come back well. I'd say he needs 2400.
Antonio Giuseppe stepping up to the mile distance, second up.
Awkward draw. Had he drawn perfectly, I would have thought he was a really good chance of being in the top 3. Barrier 10, I think it is. Yep. Makes it a little bit tough. So he's come back well. Liked his first up run.
And Saracen?
Good first up run. He's had 3 weeks between runs. Took a week to get over his first up race, but he's come through it well now. His work's been good over the past week. Mile will suit him better. He's a chance of sneaking in the top 3.
Okay, and Life Less Ordinary, barrier 11.
Yeah, awkward gate with him. Brilliant first up run. Obviously in a much lesser grade. He's on his way towards a Metrop. And after this Saturday he'll run in the Kingston Town in 2 weeks' time over 2000, which will suit him better. He's another one. He would run a cheeky race, but the draw makes it a bit awkward. I don't want him getting stuck out on a limb in a weight for age race when he's only in benchmark 95 or 6 horse. So just got to conserve a bit of energy and see how he finishes off.
And Winks.
Winks as well. Her work has been of a very good standard. She had a quiet gallop Saturday, stronger gallop Tuesday, and Hugh was very happy with that piece of work. She's come through it well. She'll be a little bit fitter. You won't see much difference in the parade ring. Her coat's starting to come through. Probably see a little bit fitter, but I'd say to the normal eye there would be picture perfect horse. She'll have the earmuffs on. She's had them on basically every day she's been at work, so they're no different for her. That won't stop her running fast, and they should just help her in the barriers a little. Not that there's an issue there, a major issue. I just think she was a bit fresh last start, and the least concerned is Hugh. He thinks just a bit fresh and just bad timing more than anything. So she should bounce back, jump with them, and of course be very hard to beat.
Okay, into the Tramway Stakes we have Macintosh, barrier 10.
Yeah, awkward gate for him. But he's come back well. Doesn't show a lot in his track work or trials, but he's a good competitive racehorse. We'll have a good look at the speed maps and see where he can slot in. I don't want him having a tough run from gate 10 if we can help it, so needs to find a position to conserve some energy. If we don't think that'll happen, we'd probably save him 7 days and run him in the Theo Marks next week.
Okay, we have also McCreary resuming from barrier 3, Hugh Bowman.
Good horse, Charlie. Hasn't won a Group 1, but geez, been a bit stiff in a couple of them. He's come back well. Reasonably well suited by the set weights and penalties. Hugh Bowman aboard, good draw. Should mean he doesn't have to get back to too far back. Midfield, get the run of the race and keep watching him this prep. He's come back really well.
And the very unlucky last start runner, Tom Melbourne, Michael Walker, barrier 8.
Yeah, very unlucky, as you said. He's come through the race well. We've decided to keep him back in distance. Hopefully he's not flattened by that brilliant first up run over a similar trip. Be an interesting race from his perspective. If he shows he's got good speed second up, I'll probably target a race like the Epsom or a 2-rack with him. I think he's a better handicapper than a weight for age horse just at the moment because he's still got a nice rating. So Saturday will tell us whether we're dreaming about running him over miles and big races or whether we should be stepping him up to the longer distance races. But very happy with him.
Okay, into the last we have My Nordic Hero.
Yeah, first run for 2 years. He stopped in at Hong Kong and didn't race. He must have had a few issues there, so he hasn't really done anything wrong, but he hasn't shown us great speed yet. We agree that I think he'll need a run or two.
Okay, we also have Torgerson. resuming?
Yeah, he's a bad first up horse. He's had 5 starts, been unplaced in all of them. You wouldn't know that because he works well, trials well, he looks well. But it's hard to get past that fact. But he does have a few bowmen aboard, drawn reasonably well, and let's hope he denies that statistic.
Okay, and Valadero also resuming. Trialled well last week.
Yeah, he did, and he's come back well. He's been gilded since last preparation. He's also drawn awkwardly, but he races up on the pace. If he can conserve some energy up there, he'll give a good kick.
And finally, Dawn Wall from barrier 11 of 12.
Yeah, draw's not going to help her cause, but gee, she's a good horse. You wouldn't know it watching her work and trial, but gee, under race pressure she lifts. So I'd expect her to show a good return. Corey Brown rides, and she's in for a good prep.
Okay, we'll head up to Doomben in the 2200 metre race where we have Devil Hawk and Brad Stewart from barrier 2.
Yeah, well, he's drawn much better. Last start he drew off the track and nothing really went right, and as a result he didn't run up to our expectations, but better draw. I think it'll be a different set of circumstances. His work's been good, should run well.
Okay, in the same race we have the Rumour File and Larry Cassidy.
Yeah, well, he's also drawn well in comparison to barrier 12 last start. He ran 5th in a similar race 2 weeks ago. I think he'll be better not only for the run but also from the barrier draw. He's a good chance of running in the top 3. And
into race 6 we have Sonic Swish heading up there for a quicker tempo.
Yeah, gone up there exactly for a bit of speed, and they have class races up in Brisbane, so he's eligible for a class 3 race and gets in pretty well at the weights. Yeah, he's drawn in the middle of the pack, so I think that'll suit him. He's not the best of barrier horses, settle midfield with a bit of cover, and as you say, with a bit of speed on, it should really help his chances.
Okay, and we'll just quickly cover the Wyong Cup on Friday. Syed.
Good race for him, Charlie. I think he's been overdoing it in his last couple, more so his last race. He got beaten with the big weight of 60 or 61 kilos. I think back to 2100, Kieran will get him to switch off and settle better, and it's a really nice race for him. It'll be very hard to beat.
Beautiful. Well, that's all we need to know from you, Chris. So have a lovely weekend, everyone, and best of luck, Chris.
Thanks, Charlie.